It's getting festive in the studio.
Too bad this isn't a Christmas.
There we go. Hello and welcome back to day 3 of Hardly Holidays, the sweetened condensed version of Hardly Working to help you get through the holidays. I'm SP.
And I'm KR or Kelly, whatever you want to call me.
Either way, it's getting festive in here now.
It's a festive.
Yeah, we've
happy
got
holiday.
some wreaths over on your side.
Merry Christmas sign on your side.
Yeah, it's getting festive in here.
Wreath Witherspoon.
Is that our original Wreath
That's
Witherspoon?
our original Wreath Witherspoon.
So, fun fact, Kelly and
Falling
I
apart.
made a Wreath Witherspoon, which is a wreath, but with Reese Witherspoon inside of it. And I thought it was hilarious. And then people started to tell me, like, you got that from
That's a thing. You already had
the Mindy Project. It's from the Mindy Project. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Me
I don't watch
either.
that. So sorry, Mindy Kaling.
Wait, no, you're wonderful. We just haven't watched that show.
Yeah.
But apparently that was already a joke. So now we'll be a part of the WGA. We'll be the writers of the shows.
There we
from now
go.
on.
They're not on strike anymore.
Not anymore, and neither are we, which is a good thing because without writers and actors and everyone in between, we wouldn't have things like TV and movies. And we've gone through the top 2023 events of the year, but what we haven't done yet is taken a look back at the highest grossing, most popular films of 2023.
We probably already know the top one is going to be Barbie.
You're probably right, but there's so much more that
All right,
you may have
let's go.
forgotten about in the midst of 2023. Give me your general take. Do you think this was a good year for movies, or do you think it was a meh year?
I think it was a better year for movies, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Better
And
than what 2020 and 2021 was.
yeah, I am trying to think about some of the movies that came out earlier this year. I can tell you I won't play the game until you're ready.
All good.
I don't really know.
I have them in order, so you can talk about any movie that you want to. I figured the movies that didn't make the list that we did love would throw out there, but this was a good year for us in movies.
Yeah, because we have an AMC, not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
A-lister, pass.
Yeah, so we
Where
pay
go and
every
see
month.
movies. Yeah, we take Brooklyn to see a lot of movies, which she loves, which I'm sure there aren't any children's films on there.
There
but,
are.
Elemental, Wish.
Mm-hmm. That's a solid list. Look,
Is there more?
well, here's the thing.
Trolls.
Oh, so good. But here's the thing. Stuff like Wish and Trolls isn't on this list.
How about Hunger Games?
I won't go into detail of what's on the list yet, but I'm letting you know those specifically because if you got released later in the year, you just aren't as likely to be in the top 10 because you haven't had as many weeks in the theaters.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like Wish just came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but the Hunger Games, The Ballad of Snakes and Songbirds, or Songbirds and Snakes.
You want to know if it's on there?
Yeah.
It is not one of the top 10 highest grossing films.
It
So
was one of my top 10.
yeah, and we can
films.
talk about
It's so good.
some of our favorites as we go through it,
So
and then
Trolls isn't
whatever.
on there either?
I don't believe it is.
Okay.
But-
that was a good movie too.
We'll talk about that later.
Sorry.
Let's try to remember. Only because I do have things to say about
I'm so sorry. I'm
Trolls.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah, hey, either put the show together or let me put it together.
All right, I'm ready for the game. I just want to play.
All right. So coming in at number 10, highest grossing film of the year. And this was a surprise to me, especially because everybody's talking about, has this company lost their way with movies or they're going to get butts in seats? And this just goes to show they're still on the right track. My friends over at Marvel Studios,
Quantumania.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Did you see it?
Oddly enough, I did the world premiere for this one. Back
I
when
know.
it
I haven't
was a
seen this
world
movie, but
premiere.
I did want to see it.
Here's the deal. I've seen Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man 2. I've not gotten a chance to watch this yet because...
Is Xochitl Gomez in this one?
No, she is in
Doctor Strange.
Doctor
in the
Strange
multiverse.
2. Yeah, Multiverse of
With
Madness,
Wanda.
which I don't think makes this list.
Well, I don't think they came out this year.
Yeah, you're probably right. It gets a little tricky
was just-
because they move some movies around and I forget where they ultimately
For sure.
landed.
I would never have guessed this on the list, nor did I even realize that it came out this year.
Now, I'll throw this on this one right here. Yeah, I did do this premiere and it was very fun. And
Good pictures from it.
what's that? I
You
got
have
good
good pictures from it, yeah.
Check the Instagram, Sean Patrick DJ, SEAN Patrick DJ at Instagram.
Seeing Patrick DJ.
As
Sorry,
Brooklyn
Sean.
says it. Anyway, but Quantumania, I'm very interested in seeing. I know that the general consensus is it didn't perform the way that people thought it would.
Yeah.
But
You love Paul Rudd.
I love Paul Rudd. And the reason I bring it all up, though, is because I loved but now have mixed feelings about Jonathan Majors.
I know.
He was like red hot for a minute. He
Yeah,
had this movie. He had Lovecraft Country.
We loved Lovecraft Country.
He
It
had
was so
some
good.
aviation movie, some like pilot movie, and a couple other
Creed
things.
3.
Creed 3. He was just on fire. And then
Loki. Yeah.
in May, and it was in Loki season 1. In May, they have built this whole next phase on the back of his character Kang. But he had some allegations of assault raised against him recently that he's still dealing with.
Yeah, he just left the courthouse with her, though, hand in
Yeah,
hand.
that
so.
feels like, I don't know, that felt weird to me. I
Yeah,
didn't see it or anything, but I don't know. There's
We're
a
not
lot
here
of...
we're here to talk about movies, though. We're not here to talk about...
That's true. I
we
worry
don't
about,
know.
or I'm curious, not worry. I wonder about the future of these films and if they'll pivot. Everybody's wondering that. But
Yeah.
this was at like the very beginning of the year. I want to say probably February that this came out.
Yeah.
So that's number 10. Number 9, though.
I want to take some guesses. Okay. Elemental.
Elemental.
It is on the list. You said it wasn't going to be on the list.
I did not say that.
I went to the world premiere of this one and with Brooklyn, and it was very fun, and we enjoyed it very much. And the short in front of this one, I bawled my eyes out.
Yeah, I also DJ'd this premiere.
Yeah,
and
you did.
hosted
That's why.
this premiere, which is why
got
you're
to
there.
see you on the
So,
thing. But it was really cool. Check out my
number 10.
Instagram, Kelly.McGillicuddy. I'm just kidding.
Day 3 is just plugs for our
No, but
Instagram.
it was a fun movie. Brooklyn and I really enjoyed this movie a lot. You didn't so much, but we did. We saw it twice.
Oh, it's not that I didn't enjoy it.
You just thought it was similar to Inside Out.
It just, it had those kind of vibes to it.
But I really liked it. I thought
It was
really
very
good.
fun, and it was a
very
great
fun.
premiere.
Yeah, it was a super fun premiere.
It was so cool.
Super, super fun.
They had the mascots of the two main characters out there.
They had tons of photo
Activations,
ops and
yeah.
things like that. It was really fun. They had the thing where you can make your own truffles at home, which I thought was really fun.
Wasn't that make your own bagels?
We did that too,
Yeah.
but they had make your own truffles, which we did. They tasted like Oreos, which is really good. And then we got our elemental cups from there, which were super fun. It was really
Still
fun.
have. I asked
and
B.
the different the different elements of like drinks, if you remember.
Oh, the Snapples.
Snapples,
That
yeah,
were kind
that
of
was fun.
themed as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good times. Very, very fun premiere. That's
It's at the
number...
Academy Museum where Ashley
Oh,
May
yeah.
works. It was really fun. Okay, sorry.
It's crazy. I didn't know the Academy Museum existed, and then I've been there like 10 times this year.
I think it just opened. Like I truly don't think it's been open very long. Maybe a couple years, maybe
Yeah.
2. Like when I say a couple, I mean like 2. Like truly, it's new.
Well, I love it. It's a great place.
It is.
Yeah. So that's number 9. Number 8. I know you wanted to guess, but you'll never guess
I
this
just
one.
like. Was it a kids movie? Was it an adult movie?
No, it was an adult movie, and Tom Cruise is the lead.
Oh, it's Maverick or Top
Nope.
Gun.
That was the year before.
Top Gun is not this year.
Nope. In fact, it was supposed to be 2020.
What's
but
the
it
one
came
that
out
he jumped off on a
on a
motorcycle?
I believe it's this movie. Mission Impossible.
That one.
Dead
That's
Reckoning.
what I was thinking. See,
Part
but look,
1.
he did his own stunts. He jumped off a motorcycle.
Yeah, he's like 61 now.
Yeah, he
or
rode a
something.
motorcycle off a cliff and then parachuted down. He did it himself.
I know. Well, he's
6 takes.
notorious for doing his own stunts. I think he's so passionate about people going to the movies that he's like, look, I'm going to put my life at risk. Come see it.
I didn't realize that this was part 1 and
Yeah.
that there'd be another part to this one.
Look, I'll be honest. I knew there was a Mission Impossible that came out, but I didn't know which one it was or what it was called.
I don't know when I stopped watching Mission Impossible. But
I
it
don't
had
know
to be a
that
long
I've ever
time ago.
actually seen a Mission Impossible.
I have because my parents were kind of into that.
Yeah, I saw whatever one came out probably in the late 90s, early 2000s. I think it was 3 maybe. And obviously I've seen the clips from 1, but some of that stuff just missed me.
We did not see this one. So
No.
it's 2 or 1 and 0 or 1 and 2. I don't know. 1 and 3. We've only seen 1 out of 3 movies. I don't know how you would say that. One of 3.
Sure, however you want to say it. The next one you have seen, and you saw it with me,
Barbie?
and you saw it with Brooklyn.
No, Barbie would be higher than this.
Any guesses on this animated classic turned live action?
Oh, well, live actions came out this year. It's not Snow White.
Nope, that hasn't come out yet.
It's not Beauty and the Beast. Is it a Disney movie?
It is a Disney movie.
Is there singing in it?
There's a lot of singing in it. In fact, some new songs.
Oh, Little Mermaid.
It is The Little
It
Mermaid.
was really fun. I like Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid was a good time in the theaters.
was
Brooklyn
great.
seemed to really like it. You loved it.
Yeah.
I didn't need Prince Eric to have his own song
But it was cool to watch
that
him
he
sing.
sang to nobody.
He
was
was
just singing to himself.
He's a good singer, so I'll take it.
He definitely is a good singer. But Little Mermaid coming in at 7,
Yeah.
beating out Elemental.
I'm now remembering some of the movies that came out through that we saw. I really liked Little Mermaid, and it should have beat out Elemental. Although I did like Elemental a lot, and I feel like it got
Yeah.
a bad rap. Not a bad
Well,
rap, but like
not a
just
bad
lot of
rap.
people it wasn't a lot of good marketing. Sorry for it.
Okay, here's the deal. We're not here to talk about whether we thought the marketers did their job well. It was right at the beginning of the strikes and stuff too. So it was very like a complicated and weird time.
Yeah, but if you like, I remember Brooklyn went to the premiere and I was like, oh man, her friends are going to be like, that's so cool. And like, none of them really knew what the movie was.
Yeah.
And so I was like, take it for what it, like with bad marketing, like the kids should know what it should be somewhere for them to see. Like we knew because we went to it, because we kept seeing signs for it and she kept going, yeah. I'm like, yeah, Daddy's doing the world premiere for that.
And she saw the ads, I think, on YouTube Kids and stuff like that. And she was excited about it.
But anyway, Little Mermaid was great.
Yeah, back to Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid was great. I think they took no missteps.
Berry.
Holly.
It's not Halle Berry. It's
no,
Haley.
I know. I keep messing it up. I'm actually not great with names.
Halle, Halle Berry.
But she's wonderful.
Amazing and incredible.
She's incredible.
She's in The Color Purple coming out here soon, which I can't wait to see. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I think it's out now. They had the premiere. I'm not sure if it's in theaters.
Yeah, it should be out soon.
All right, you ready for number 6?
Yes.
You want to know some clues?
Yes.
You saw this movie.
Mario Kart.
With me and with Brooklyn.
Mario.
It is not Mario.
What is that movie called?
It is an animated film about a superhero.
Oh, is it Paw Patrol?
No, it's Paw Patrol. Nowhere on this list.
Oh, okay. I should have known that.
It is
Spider-Man.
Into
That was
the
like
Spider-Verse.
way early on this year and not at our normal theater. That was good too.
We're in Thousand Oaks for that one.
And everyone should know this already. We were so stoked to take her to see that and then so sad that it was like to be continued. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Part 1. Spoilers. Yeah. It's not really a spoiler, but I wish I would have known that by the end of 2 hours in the theater, they were not going to give us an ending.
Yeah, I know. I remember looking at my watch going like, oh, we have to get Brooklyn. I think we had seen it on a day that she technically was with her mom, but we were just going to go see this movie. I was like, we got to get her to her mom here soon. Like, when are they going to wrap this up? And then it was like, to be continued. I was like, well, that makes more sense. I'm stressing out for no reason.
Yeah,
it's like, how are we going to get to the end of this?
Yeah, there's no closure coming up.
But we did watch this is the third one, right? The third?
No, it's the second one.
Second. We did watch the first one at home and I was really happy. This is like the year that Brooklyn really had become like her own human, that I was like, dang, she's like old enough to watch this. And she's like excited about it. Anyway, that was really good. I like that movie too.
Yeah, she enjoyed it as well. Very fun. Both of these movies, Spider-Man.
6.
Oh, you're keeping track of how many? Good luck. This next one you did not see, so I don't think you need to guess. I didn't even know it came out this year. It's Fast X.
Yeah.
The, I believe, 10th installment of the Fast and Furious franchise. Have you seen any of these movies?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. I saw 1 and 2 in theaters.
Yeah, I saw some in theaters with my brothers. Not to be confused with Triple X.
That's true. Which I did see in theaters as well.
With Vin Diesel.
It was Vin Diesel. The second one was Ice Cube, and then I think the third one was him.
But I have seen some Fast and the Furious movies in theaters.
You saw Triple X in theaters?
Yeah, at the theater on Balboa.
That must have been shocking.
Balboa and the Regency, you know what I'm talking about? Across from my house.
Yeah, Balboa and Devonshire.
Yeah, there.
Because that movie had that like German Rammstein kind of band.
I remember nothing about it. I just need you to know. I just know I went to see it in theaters with my brothers.
Dang.
That's all I got.
Well, Fast X, number 5. Haven't seen that one.
No.
This next one, furthering what I said earlier about Ant-Man.
Just, I think I saw the last one, not in theaters, but the one with Paul Walker, the last one that he was in. I'm pretty sure I watched that one.
It's been a long day.
Charlie Puth breaking everyone's hearts with that.
Without you, my friend.
All right.
And Snoop Dogg's gonna tell you of... Okay.
In the end.
So furthering what I said, that
Ant-Man.
This is still a studio that is right on target. The number 4 movie, biggest movie of the year, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh, duh. I forgot that came out this year, too. That was very good. I really
good.
liked Guardians of the Galaxy. And that, I mean, here's the deal. People can say what they want to say about Marvel and Disney. I think people still love Marvel movies when it's what they want. And Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, I mean, incredible. Looking forward to what DC movies he comes out with now that he's taking over there, whatever he's doing. But Guardians is like yes, it's a part of the Marvel universe, and yes, they're technically a part of the Avengers or whatever they team up with them. But it is a standalone.
Oh yeah,
movie,
you can
in my
watch
opinion,
just those 3
and be fine. You might miss out on some things, but like
you'll miss out on some details. But
it's just a great trilogy. Truly, it's really good. This last one was a little long.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're putting a bow on the whole,
yeah, I mean, you didn't kill anybody though. It's like, come
spoilers.
Maybe they did. You don't know.
I mean, we know now.
I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, it came out like at the top of the year.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when it came out. May 5th is exactly when it came out.
Because it says it on there.
Thank you, graphic. But here's the deal. Guardians was the first property in the MCU that even like hardcore comic book fans were like, really? Like that wasn't even a really fun run of comics. Like I never really cared about the Guardians.
But it was so fun in the theaters.
And then Marvel Studios James Gunn made them people you really, really cared about.
And Chris Pratt, you know, it's a good team of people. It's not just him, but
they have always assembled killer people to do this work. And this is just it in terms of like a trilogy or a series within the Marvel universe, I think this is probably the top for me. We've got Captain America, of course, the first Avenger, followed by the Winter Soldier. And I don't know if he had a third movie, Captain America. I think it was those two. And you love Captain America.
I do love Captain America.
I'm not a big Captain America guy.
I do love it.
Other franchises we have is the Thor franchise.
That was better as it went on.
But it wasn't. The first two, not great. A lot of people actively like put
the third one was good, though.
They put the second one, the Dark World, at the bottom of their list. Ragnarok is where it really started to shine.
Yeah.
And did you know how that happened?
He said he didn't want to do it anymore if it wasn't fun.
So I was listening to a podcast with Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman.
Yeah.
And Kevin had started talking about, he's like, we got to fun up Thor. Like this Chris Hemsworth guy, he's funny. Like, look at him in the Ghostbusters remake. He's cute, he's charming, he's funny. And like, they should just cut his hair off and like take him a new direction, let him like have that comedic bend. And so then an article came out in the Hollywood Reporter or Vanity Fair or something like that. I don't remember which. And it was like, it said Chris Hemsworth credits Kevin Smith in a podcast to give him the confidence to go into the studio's offices and tell him all the same things. Like, I agree. I think it should be this, this, and this. And then it turned it turned Thor into one of the best characters.
Yeah, everyone loves Thor now.
Out of everybody.
Yeah, which I think led people to love Loki too.
Yeah, no, Loki, people have had an affinity for Loki.
Tom Hiddleston, everyone just loved him,
forever. But so,
I didn't, but now I do.
Yeah. Then you've got like the Ant-Man franchise, which is fine. I like it because it's funny.
It's sad because Paul Rudd is really great, but for some reason, I haven't been able to like lock into Ant-Man.
It's kind of a silly concept, right? He's Ant-Man. He turns really small.
Or really
and also
big.
really big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that was a tougher sell for some people. And I'm sure.
Snapped away. Sorry.
Yeah, a lot of people were, but most of them snapped back. So I could keep going into the movies, but all that to say, the Guardians trilogy, this little franchise within the MCU.
So great.
So wonderful from start to finish.
Yeah, I would take more of that. I know there's not going to be any more, but.
Yeah, well, who knows?
He'll return. Star-Lord. That's what it told us.
Will. You ready for the number 3?
Uh-huh. I have to assume, by the way, I mean, I know Barbie's at number 1. I have to assume Oppenheimer's in here. And then if Taylor Swift, if the Eras Tour is a part of this, I would have to assume that might be on here as well. But I don't know if that would be considered a movie.
It is considered a movie. It's not on this list.
Dang. Okay.
But number 3 is Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I didn't see this. We mentioned it earlier. I did. Anything worth talking about with this?
It's long. It's good though. If you like history and like stuff like that, it's really good. The actor in this did an incredible and amazing job. Yeah. In it. My one critique of this was I felt like there were certain things that they didn't need to have in here, mostly because they didn't give enough time to it. Like Florence Pugh was in this.
Yeah.
But not for very long.
Right.
But I love her, and I'm like, I love that she was in it. I was hoping that she'd be in it more. I understood like why they did it, but I was like, you didn't need to because you didn't give enough time to really like deep dive into that. We obviously got things through context and understood things, but you didn't really tell us.
Yeah.
So it was a weird thing. I also learned that Oppenheimer and Albert Einstein were alive during the same time. I don't know why I always think that.
Did you know Oppenheimer existed ever before this movie?
No, but when you talk about like, I think it's like the H bomb. Is what he made.
Is it the hydrogen bomb?
Yeah. It was whatever bomb.
Atom bomb?
Japan.
Look, I didn't see this movie. I don't know.
But I think sometimes I forget that Albert Einstein isn't like way old.
Isn't like 1800s?
Yeah. Does that make sense? I was like, dang.
Like Einstein was probably alive in our grandparents' lifetime, if not maybe
World
even
War
our
II.
parents.
So my grandma for sure.
Not our parents, but yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like I just didn't know. So there's a lot of that.
And
but it was really good.
I'm just not that impressed by E equals MC squared. It's just not that impressive to me.
I just think it's because he's such a big person. I just didn't. Joking. It's like learning like Anne Frank was alive during the same time. It's just
was she in that movie?
She was not in that movie. But if it's World War II, then she was alive during that time.
I was like, what did I miss?
But that's all I'm saying.
Well, we don't need to deep dive into Oppenheimer. If people who wanted to see it saw it.
I learned a lot. I thought it was really great. I also thought it was really sad learning more about like what they created and what they used it for. Yeah, it's just sad. Anyway.
Well, then let's move on to happier things.
And the way that they did it was really cool. The way they showed some stuff and the way that they showed like through his mind's eye what he saw. And Robert Downey Jr. was in this movie as well. He did a great job.
And Matt Damon.
Let's
move on
Emily
to happier
Blunt.
things. Like one of the best movies of the year.
Barbie. Hey, Barbie.
It's not Barbie.
Yeah. Oh,
it
sorry.
is the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, let's go. I can't believe that that's above Oppenheimer.
Well, in terms of how much it made. And that's the
Yeah.
thing is like a lot of people
kids.
have been trained to just wait a few weeks till things go on streamers. This was an excuse right in the peak of like end of school year,
Yeah.
summer starting. What are we going to do as a family? Of
Go see a
course,
movie.
take yourself
We took Brooklyn
to your
to see this
kids.
too.
Yeah. And
She was like, it's so great. I don't want to see it again. I was like, cool.
that was so funny. 10 out of 10, but I don't need to see it again. But Jack Black as Bowser, perfect casting.
Peaches, 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 peaches. That was a good thing for the kids, which Jack Black
yeah.
is really good at doing that type of stuff.
Yeah, he's hysterical. And I saw a little clip of him, and he was like, the writers came to me kind of midway through, and they're like, hey, we wrote this song. We want you to, like, Bowser to sing a song. And he described it. He's like, well, I mean, like, that should have been negotiated before. If, like, I'm keeping my music stuff out of this. And then they're like, okay, just play it. And they, like, texted him a voice memo of it. And it was just the Peaches thing. And he was like, oh, yeah, we got to do this. I think he's up for, like, a Grammy.
Dang, that's crazy.
For, you know,
for that
best soundtrack, like song in a soundtrack. It might be an Oscar for best music, whatever,
That's
original
so
song.
funny. Is it
like
longer than just that?
Probably. I'm sure they have an extended version. They really leaned into that.
Yeah.
But also worth mentioning, of course, Chris Pratt's great. Charlie Day was wonderful in this.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I love Chris Pratt. You got to stop putting him in stuff.
I do agree
Because he
with
did
that.
Mario and he did another like animated one.
Yeah, I can't remember what that was.
I can't remember. But I remember when I found out that it was him, I was like, oh, he did like the Lego movie. He was the main guy in the Lego movie.
That makes sense to me, though.
Which is totally
There
fine.
was no established voice for a Lego character, and I was like, great.
That's
awesome.
totally fine. But then if he is the voice of the Lego dude,
Let it be.
Let it be. He doesn't also need to be the voice of Mario. That was I was like, I love Chris Pratt.
Yeah, and it's tricky because
Bye bye little Sebastian. You know, let's do this.
Yeah.
But I was like,
it's tricky, and there was some people on both sides of this argument here saying
needs to be an Italian plumber.
well, I mean, there were people saying that about, you know, him being Italian and casting an Italian person. But most of what I heard was people saying, like, these characters already have voices. People who have been voicing Mario and Luigi and Peach and Donkey
Let them do it,
for
yeah.
years and years and years. The problem is, and this happens a lot in voiceover, is they're like, yeah, we could do that, but you don't know who does the voice of Mario. You don't know who
That's
does the
true.
voice of Luigi, but you know who Chris Pratt is, and name brand and brand recognition gets butts and seats.
For sure. Jack Black being Bowser would have probably been enough for me. Honestly, Super Mario's was enough for me. I didn't really know much about it going into it other than it was Super Mario's. And we have played through all of it. We just played through Wonder, which we could probably play through again.
Yeah, it's great. We play them all.
And Odyssey and all. We played them all. But like that was enough for me. I understand. And at the same time, I'm like, okay.
Well, let's move on to the last one before our
Hey,
honorable
Barbie.
mentions.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It is the Barbie
Truly,
movie.
best movie of the year. I just have to say, I really liked Barbie.
The best description of Barbie I heard was that it was Black Panther for white women. That was from Mark Bernardin.
Okay. It was just I think it was, you guys keep saying white women. I think you guys do that a lot. I think it was probably a good movie for just women in general. And I think like America Ferrera isn't a white woman, but she was a big part of this movie.
She rocked it. She
And
had the
she's
best
the one who had the
monologue in the whole
monologue,
movie.
yeah. But Greta Gerwig is amazing.
Uh-huh.
My girl, Nicola Coughlan.
Is she your girl?
She is Penelope in Bridgerton.
Oh.
And they wanted to cast her in this. She was in Barbie just for a little bit, but she had scheduling conflicts because it's her season of Bridgerton this year, but she was supposed to have more of a thing, but she was in that, but they really like pulled out all the stops
It was
for this.
like cameo filled. Yeah.
It was great though. Truly,
was.
I think like it was a weird thing when Barbie came out because I think everyone was so excited about the movie, but no one really knew like what it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But we're like, yeah, like we want to see it because it's such a big part of our childhood. Like, of course I'm going to see it. And truly, I think they made it into more than what any of us could have imagined it to be. And I'm so grateful for Greta and for Margot, who really fought for the characters to have like substance.
Substance, yeah.
Substance. Who am I? Substance. You know what I mean? And to actually be meaningful and be people.
100%.
And Ryan Gosling for coming in and playing Ken, even though
Killer job.
I don't think he wanted to or was going to.
I wasn't a Gosling fan until this movie.
I mean, he's great. La La Land.
Yeah. That's not my kind of movie.
My kind of movie.
Yeah.
But anyways,
obviously we talked about it on day one. It has huge cultural relevance. One of the biggest parts of our year in terms of pop culture. And it was amazing. And I worry because I already hear about Barbie 2. And it's like, you can't capture what Barbie 1 did again.
Yeah, I don't know that they would. Yeah.
It's not just a story.
Yeah.
It had something to say.
Yeah. And it was truly, as a woman, I think they really were able to capture kind of how we feel. If you rewatch America Ferrera's like monologue, truly what she says is how we feel all the time.
Yeah.
And I remember crying during that scene, and then also crying when they were talking about moms and like what moms do, and she's becoming
special,
an actual human being and not just a Barbie anymore.
Yeah.
But it was a very good movie, a very special movie. I was happy to be able to watch it with Brooklyn, although I think a lot of it went over her head. I know she really enjoyed it.
Of course. And she'll come back to it as an adult and she'll see it through your eyes.
Yep.
And like, that's what's beautiful about that movie too, is it has legs, like it has longevity.
Yeah.
It will continue to hold up for a while.
Yeah. But I was grateful you were there. We saw that movie with Ashley May as well, which was really fun.
Yeah. I got to dress up as Ken for the Taylor Swift Eras tour because of that movie.
Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, it was fun to be in a room filled with mostly women.
Oh yeah.
Because I think we went and saw on opening weekend too. But mostly women, and to like know, oh yeah, we're all feeling the same things and like experiencing the same amazing movie that is like talking to us, but also talking to the men in our lives for them to hear like what we go through. Not that everyone will hear it, and I understand that.
No, because there were so many toxic men who were like, if you see the Barbie movie, that means this. And I was like,
get out of here.
Calm down. You're so annoying.
But they nailed
men are the worst.
They nailed the Ken stuff on the head though. What was the song that they played?
Not I'm Just Ken, that one?
No. They were all playing on the guitar.
They're all playing on acoustic guitar on the beach. It was so perfect.
I was like, oh my gosh, teach Brooklyn that song so
good.
no one can impress her.
Well, that's the end of the list. But
Sorry,
a couple things
great.
that I didn't put together, honorable mentions, but some movies that I really enjoyed this year that weren't on the list.
Yeah.
Asteroid City was one of my
really
favorite
good.
movies of the year.
I
Wes
really
Anderson
liked
movie.
Asteroid City. Mm-hmm.
So fun.
Kind of weird, but good.
It's definitely weird and wacky, but it's like, it's what movies to me should be like. Something that isn't just like something that would happen in the real world or a slice of life. Like, I didn't see Oppenheimer because it just doesn't intrigue me.
That's okay.
Barbie intrigues me because it couldn't happen. Like, it's a real story. And Asteroid City was a lot like that
great.
too. So fun. Some other shout outs. Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken was fun.
That was good too. Brooklyn, I like that one
Definitely
as
a surprise. The Trolls movie was
so fun.
So much better than it had any right to be. Very, very fun. Very enjoyable. You mentioned a couple other ones. You saw Wish with Brooklyn. I didn't see that with you guys.
That was pretty good. It was okay.
Not your favorite?
Not my favorite Disney movie.
It hasn't gotten
a
bunch of a ton
the
of
song's
hype.
good. Yeah, it was.
Is there anything that
Hunger
wasn't
Games,
on
The
this
Ballad
list?
of Snakes and Songbirds?
So, tell me that.
Really like that movie. Would love to see it again. Truly, I was like, I mean, I liked the Hunger Games series when it came out, and I just rewatched all of them and then saw that one, and I really, really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I wanted to look on my AMC app to see if I could see all the movies that I've seen this year.
Absolutely. You pull that up. I'll keep chatting about this.
But I really like that one.
It was a great movie, or excuse me, a great year for kids' movies too. And as a person who listens to podcasts that include people who own movie theaters in 2023, truly those kids' movies, whether it's Ruby Gillman, Trolls, Super Mario Brothers, even Barbie, those were the things that saved movie theaters this year. Oppenheimer, huge movie, but wasn't necessarily bringing in tons and tons and tons of people. But Super Mario Brothers like kept certain theaters afloat for a few months. So that was pretty cool. Also, I was hearing about movie theaters doing this more, which is pretty fun. I think it's cool, is showing older movies and giving families and people opportunities to see movies that they may have missed. So I think that's pretty cool. Do you pull up anything on your AMC?
I did. I'm surprised you didn't say this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The Machine with Burt Kreischer.
Oh, The Machine!
That was good.
Yep.
I really enjoyed that. And then A Haunting in Venice, I enjoyed more the second time I watched it. I know we went and saw in the theaters and we were like, it's okay. But I really like those movies. And so I really enjoyed that. Other things we saw that came out that I wish would have been better, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. They could have done so much with it.
I don't know if we talked about that on the show.
Very nostalgic, but
not our favorite.
Not our
Paw
favorites.
Patrol movie, not great. Sorry, Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically, they already did it on the TV show. I think that was the hard part for me. I was like, you already did Mighty
Literally
Pups.
This story.
You have a whole TV series about it. But so why are we now doing Mighty Pups the movie? But
anything else before we wrap up?
No, the only other thing we saw Haunted Mansion, didn't like it.
Yeah, and I think had it come out in the holiday time, the Halloween time, I think we might have had a slightly different
but it didn't. It
vibe
came
on it.
out. When did we see it?
And I love so many of the people in that movie.
Yeah,
But also,
it came
like,
out in
dark
July.
comedies aren't my thing. Like, that's just not what appeals to me.
Yeah, I think those are all the movies that we saw this year. It's funny because I did last year, and Wakanda Forever is on this list because it came out we saw it on December 26th, 2022.
Yeah.
But anyways, those are all the movies. I've enjoyed as many movies as we've seen this year.
It's been a
Hunger
fun and
Games
good
is
time.
like Barbie is my top. Hunger Games is another one for
Yeah.
me that like I've really enjoyed.
So if you haven't seen them, check them out. That's our list of recommendations and the top 10 movies of 2023 as we close out the year and as we close out day 3 of Hardly Holidays. We've got more coming at you just tomorrow, day 4. So don't miss out on that. But until tomorrow, enjoy your holiday and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.